kid suggestion. The both of you behind that.
We have not evaluated Red 40 for a decade.
What would you say you do here?
To make matters worse, the equally harmful red dye 3 was also brought up during this hearing, and this is what our benevolent angelic overlords had to say about that.
Red 3 has been known to cause cancer in cosmetics, but we still allow it to be put in our food. I don't understand that.
So Red 3 presents an interesting example for us. It is actually known to be cancer in laboratory animals, rats. The scientific consensus is that the mechanism of carcinogenicity in rats is not applicable in humans. However, any chemical that is shown to be carcinogenic in animals or humans, should I say humans or animals, cannot be authorized by FDA. It's called the Delaney Clause. And so even though we don't believe there is a risk to humans under the Delaney Clause of the FFDCA, red dye, because it is known to cause cancer in laboratory animals, should not be authorized. And so that is what has been challenged FDA for many years, is how to manage around the Delaney Clause.
So what he just said there was completely insane, and I'm going to help you understand some of the wizard talk that you just heard there. The FDA doesn't authorize anything in our food supply if it's found to cause cancer in humans or animals. This is due to the regulation he talked about called the Delaney Clause, which was first enacted in 1958. So what's so puzzling about what he just said in front of the Senate is that red dye number 3 was found to cause cancer in rats in the year 1990. So when they found that out, they banned it, but only for cosmetics, not the food supply. They only followed the Delaney Clause halfway. They should have banned it in everything if it causes cancer in rats, because that's what the Delaney Clause says. So it should be a huge slap in your face when you hear this guy admit right in front of the Senate that it's a challenge to the FDA to manage around the Delaney Clause, when the Delaney Clause is one of the few things that keeps us safe from cancer-causing chemicals. These people hate you, but here's the good news. Because of massive public backlash, they're actually looking at banning these food dyes now, which is a huge victory. Soon, man-made horrors beyond your comprehension, like this Captain Crunch Blue Ocean syrup abomination, may soon just vanish from the grocery shelves. But banning a few harmful ingredients and products isn't going to take you across the finish line in your own health journey. That's just a fact. You still have to exercise your free will and make better choices. A good rule of thumb that I personally follow is to just stay away from processed foods.
The all-time fan favorite bestseller, Vitamin Mineral Fusion, is finally back in stock, exclusively available at drjonesnaturals.com, my dad's great supplement company website. Ladies and gentlemen, Vitamin Mineral Fusion is the all-time fan favorite because listeners and viewers absolutely love it. It's got all the essential vitamins and minerals. It's got a bunch of concentrated superfoods and super herbs, amino acids. It's got everything you need. So many people have health problems and issues because they have vitamin and mineral deficiencies. It tastes great, it's all natural, and it funds the info war. Find out why it's been our #1 bestseller. If you've never tried it, for those of you that have had it, you love it. It's available again, and it keeps us on the air at this critical time. So thank you all for your support. Vitamin Mineral Fusion is now back in stock, discounted at drjonesnaturals.com, and check out all the other great products while you're there. Thank you so much for keeping us in the fight. Now get your Vitamin Mineral Fusion right now at drjonesnaturals.com.
It's Tuesday, December 17th, in the year of our Lord 2024. And you're listening to the American Journal with your host,
Austin, Texas. That first 5-minute video you saw was by the PSYOP cop, very own Reese, the editor on American Journal. You can find and share that video at band.video and infowars.com. You can also find it on my Twitter and his Twitter at PSYOP cop. Mass food dye poisoning exposed during FDA Senate grilling. And it's actually at the PSYOP cop, on X. We have a lot to cover today. We have a big show. We'll be joined by Brandon Weichert in the third hour. Talk about all sorts of stuff, but particularly one of our top stories in the Daily Dispatch, the drone situation, as well as geopolitics overall. A lot of geopolitics to talk about today. Europe is quietly collapsing. piece by piece, the biggest, most powerful countries in Europe are all having their governments utterly fall apart as they desperately try to cobble it together and fend off the rising tide of right-wing sentiment. Canada included in that list. Not technically a European country, but pretty much, though. But pretty much, actually, it is one. So yeah, tons of videos to get to. We will, of course, be talking about the mass shooting that occurred yesterday at a Christian school, yet another example of anti-Christian violence, targeting specifically that Christian private school in Madison, Wisconsin. We'll get into all of that and more, taking your phone calls and just so many videos. So we'll just get to as many of those as humanly possible. Let's begin today, as we do every day, with our daily dispatch. So to our daily dispatch for Tuesday, the 17th of December, 2024. Mystery as radioactive shipment goes missing in New Jersey amid drone invasion. Radioactive material went missing in New Jersey earlier this month, fueling conspiracy theories that it could be linked to the mysterious drone sightings. A piece of medical equipment used for cancer scans was shipped from the NASA Cancer Center in Newfield on December 2nd for disposal, but the, quote, shipping container arrived at its destination damaged and empty. The device, known as a pin source, contains a small amount of germanium-68, GE68, that is used to calibrate a medical scanner's accuracy. If handled without proper gear, it can cause radiation poisoning. The Nuclear Regulatory Commission, NRC, issued an alert for the missing shipment deemed less than Category 3, meaning it could cause permanent injury if mishandled. The danger with losing track of radioactive materials is that they can be used to build bombs, but experts have suggested that malicious actors would likely use more potent material than what was lost in New Jersey. This, of course, we reported yesterday, but it was unconfirmed at the time. Sometimes we're so early on the news that we can't actually be sure if it's true or not, but it's been confirmed and established now as fact in the mainstream media. And I think it's a little bit more than coincidence that all these drone sightings are happening at the exact same time that you have this missing radioactive material, which is actually a pretty benign and reasonable explanation for the drones and the government's behavior. Like, they don't want to admit that they lost radioactive material, but they're searching for it with drones. They can't say, no, those aren't our drones. They also can't say, yeah, we've lost radioactive material and are looking for it, so they don't want to cause a panic. They pretend not to know what it is and come up with some nonsense stories that everybody knows are fake. It actually kind of makes a lot of sense. Now, there is probably more to it than that. And maybe now that I think about it, it's a little bit too coincidental. Maybe it's too convenient of an excuse. We'll look into that a little bit more. Like I said, we're talking about that with Brandon Weichert in the third hour. Meanwhile, yesterday, a shooting in Wisconsin left 5 dead, 7 injured, at least. At least 4 people have been killed and 7 others injured at a shooting at a Christian school in Madison, Wisconsin on Monday morning. Local police and ABC News said. Madison Police Chief Sean Barnes says the suspected juvenile shooter was also found dead. It is being reported now it was a female shooter, a radical feminist of sorts. She posted a manifesto to Twitter, but forgot to make the Google Drive that she posted it from public. However, others are reporting to have copies of that manifesto, including the boyfriend of the suspected shooter who has leaked it. We'll show you those documents here in just a minute. They are not providing any details on the victims, including their names or if they were staff or students, until their next of kin are notified, and we'll bring you some updates to that as we find it. But it's another example of anti-Christian violence. And there were earlier reports that the shooter may have been trans, but certainly targeting a private Christian school deliberately in an act of anti-Christian violence. Yet another. Meanwhile, House strikes blow to censorship in landmark defense bill vote. This is a story from Infowars.com. The U.S. House passes the inDOCtriNATIONlive 2025 targeting media bias by banning contracts with NewsGuard amid growing concerns over impartiality. A new chapter in the fight against censorship unfolded as the U.S. House of Representatives approved the inDOCtriNATIONlive for fiscal year 2025. While 124 Democrats opposed the bill, its passage marked a significant step in addressing concerns over biased media practices and government spending. Among its provisions, the legislation includes a prohibition on contracts with firms like NewsGuard Technologies, an organization criticized the use of targeting certain media outlets. Yours truly. So that's very good to see. And of course, wouldn't it have been ironic if Chuck Schumer got what he wanted and the Anti-Semitism Act was embedded in that? It's like, this is a anti-censorship bill that also bars you from talking about our greatest ally ever. Meanwhile, Canada's Justin Trudeau may resign as PM, currently considering his options after his finance minister quits. After nearly a decade in power, the reign of Canada's far-left Prime Minister Justin Trudeau may be finally coming to an end. According to sources who spoke with CTV, Trudeau is currently considering his options after the shock resignation of his finance minister, Chrystia Freeland. In a public resignation letter, Freeland said that Canada faces great challenges from the incoming Trump administration.
Actually got maple waffle sausage sandwich.
Of economic nationalism, including a threat of 25% tariffs. So yes, Donald Trump is still a month and more from actually being president. He's already toppling the Canadian government. So well done, Trump, and we'll bring you more on that. But literally, it's Trump. It's Trump's tariffs are collapsing the Canadian government as we speak, and we'll show you more videos about that here in just a second. Meanwhile, Israel closes embassy in Ireland over extreme anti-Israel policies and anti-Semitic rhetoric. Israel is closing its embassies in Ireland in protest of what it claims are extreme anti-Israel policies of the Irish government. While this doesn't amount to a full severing of diplomatic relations,
plenty of gross things. That ain't one of them.
A dramatic display of Israel's defensiveness in the face of growing international condemnation of its bloody and destructive 14-month-long war in Gaza. And we'll bring you more about that in just a second. Finally, we have this story.
I had a whole package of bacon last night.
Kills senior Russian general in Moscow. Russian officials have said a bomb exploded Tuesday on a Moscow street, killing 2 people, including the commander of Russia's nuclear, biological, and chemical defense forces. The blast happened as Lieutenant General Igor.
A little bubble gut this morning, but I'll be all right.
Leaving an apartment.
Give me a maple
southeastern Moscow, according to Russia's
maple waffle.
Authorities
maple syrup waffle sausage biscuit or sausage sandwich.
The left side show a charred facade, crumpled bricks, and broken windows. That is your daily dispatch, brought to you, of course, by theAlexStoreDocCom. We'll get more into all of that, including showing videos from that now assassinated.
And plus, I was in the mood for bacon.
Russian general who was one of the foremost people in the Russian government talking about biolabs in Ukraine funded by America, including drones that can house thousands of mosquitoes that can be infected through genomic manipulation and DNA intervention, poisoned and released into civilian areas to kill everyone. So we'll show you some videos from him in just a second.
I saw that. I watched it.
I have
the fuck, man. That sucks.
Very important announcement to make.
I saw one of the comments too.
Very important.
It's like warranty denied. It still smokes.
It might not be as important for you, but pay attention. Just hear who this announcement is for. There is now an affiliate link on theAlexJonesStore.com/
Something ain't working right if your smoker catches on fire like that. That means there's lots of drippings, but if it's sealed and smoking, it should douse it. That should put the flames right out. Smoke should extinguish the flames.
See, one of the great things about working at InfoWars,
that means there's too much air in there, getting in there.
As long as I don't know.
You should have turned the fan off. I saw the fan hooked right to the side. Just turn that off.
I have a salary.
Let it smoke itself out.
As long as I'm here doing the show and fulfilling my obligations as an employee, then I don't have to worry about sponsorship.
Didn't need to use that stupid can of fire.
That's the beauty of InfoWars. You go to theAlexJonesStore.com and it supports all of us. The flip side of that,
you seem pretty complacent about it, though.
If you make something incredibly popular, I don't directly benefit from that, but not anymore, folks. Not anymore. Now, if you want to directly benefit not just InfoWars and our entire crew, but me personally, you can go to theAlexJonesStore.com
Life Flight Network
/Harrison, theAlexJonesStore.com/Harrison. And that's the affiliate link. It just takes you straight to theAlexJonesStore.com, and anything that you purchase through that link, they know I sent you. So tell them who sent you. Go to theAlexJonesStore.com /Harrison. Get some
Oh, yeah?
Is to get all of the vitamins.
I just watched that one.
Vitamins.
I was tired last night, man. I fell asleep on the couch.
And this is the bottle that comes with the Optimal Human starter pack. In our case, of course, we stole it from our friend Chase. So
Watch foosball.
this is how you
Went to sleep.
prepare your green drink in the morning. First, you steal a bottle from your friend Chase, even though he was nice enough to
Morning on.
write his name on the top.
Oh.
And you take 1 scoop of the Optimal Human in this handy little scooper that they provide for you. Drop it in. Now I like to add, this is the Harrison Smith twist, and ideally this would be a fresh lemon I'd be cutting and squeezing right now, but it's not. It's just a bottle of lemon juice. But I do a little drop of lemon juice in there too, and that's it. We're done. Cooking segment over. This is now all of the nutrition and vitamins that you need all day.
I got a comfy couch, man.
Store.com/Harrison and get your bottle today. And
I mean, I did go to bed at like 2:30 in the morning when I woke up on the couch.
And enjoy.
I got a
You like that?
new electric blanket. It's fucking, it'll put you to sleep.
Video that was released by Tucker Carlson. He did an interview with Jeffrey Sachs.
Man, I need to clean this car. The inside of this car is filthy. That's the windshield all fogged up on the inside from vaping. To go to the car wash today.
I almost don't even know where to start with this, because the whole thing is bombshell. The whole dang thing is fantastic. And the other side of that is that he is repeating a lot of what we have told.
Yeah, the wife loves it too.
It's nice hearing it from a established.
She had to get up earlier than me today, so she went to bed before I did, so I stole it.
And not just.
She's the one that's been using it mostly.
Speculating wildly. It's nice to hear all of this laid out.
I had to test it out. I was like, oh my god, this thing is nice. I'm gonna get another one.
To about 28 minutes in this video. The whole thing is 2 hours long, but we'll start at 28 minutes and hear about.
It needs a good cleaning on the inside here. I don't get it detailed, but I get a good. There's a car wash in Toledo for like $35. They do the inside and out. They wipe it down. They don't detail it, but I don't think I've ever owned a car that I actually wanted detailed. Detailing it doesn't make it run any better. The blood and scratch marks.
And I mean literally the opposite.
Out of the trunk?
So that's very worrying to me, because we operate foreign policy in secrecy. We do not have any kind of democratic oversight of foreign policy. There's no explanation of it. There's no accountability for it. It's in very few hands. It's not in good or reliable hands. It's not explained. We gave over Middle East foreign policy to Israel a long time ago, not to U.S. interests, but to Israel's interests, that is, the Israel lobby. And we don't hear questioning of this at all. Of course, not from the government, not from the Congress, not from oversight by any Democratic
More rain tomorrow, free wash, yeah.
Nor does...
We're getting snow, I think, Thursday.
Fewer and fewer people are interested in, because they don't get any facts from it, look into these issues. What happens
Thursday night, Thursday morning.
Continued war, and now the drumbeat is for war with Iran.
I'll just have to leave the windows down so the inside gets clean too, huh?
Dearly wants the U.S. to go in and bomb Iran. Probably some mix of old school hardliners and people with a very different perspective. So there will be an internal battle for the heart and soul of the new administration. But there will be some who say, yeah, now's time to carry on the war. Hezbollah and Hamas have been weakened. Syria has fallen. The air defenses are gone. Now we can fly and
clean that engine.
In Iran. Of course, all of this is a profound delusion, and that's, I think, really important to understand. We've had 6 wars so far: Lebanon, Iraq, Syria, Somalia, Sudan, and Libya. 6 out of the 7 that were on the list shown to Wesley Clark, not one of them has led to stability, to peace even, much less to geopolitical interests being solved. So it's not like we're finding solutions to anything. Yes, it has allowed at unbelievable cost Israel to hold on to the West Bank, East Jerusalem, the Golan Heights, and Gaza, as if that's some kind of grand strategic aim of the United States or justifiable in the face of international law and nearly global opposition to such thinking. But it doesn't lead to any answers.
Yeah, they got plenty.
And there's no way to
Next man up.
defeat Iran, even if we went in and bombed Iran. Iran has strong allies. Iran has Russia and China as allies. Iran is part of the BRICS. Iran has a military relationship with Russia. Of course, we have even crazier people who think we're going to defeat Russia.
Cancel.
Russia has 6,000 nuclear warheads, of which 1,600 are deployed. It has its new hypersonic Oreshnik ballistic missile, which travels at Mach 11. It has other hypersonic weapons. So yes, we have people in the U.S. who, in their mental blindness, think about continued escalation all the way to nuclear Armageddon. They really do. They're very ignorant people, and they're around in high positions. And so when you ask what comes next,
I got a warning from my Friday stream for some reason.
Can change course.
Let me read this. Community warning on my YouTube. My YouTube's gonna get shut down eventually, guys. My main one, anyway. I know I didn't play anything weird or do anything weird Friday. All I did was playing what was there. That doesn't surprise me, the dogfighting thing. Find it now. I got an email on it. I'll look it up. This guy is not going to let me over? What the fuck? Zip around me on the right and then fucking... Yeah. Fucking slow down so I can't get off. Oh yeah, it does, but shit. Fucking YouTube has a 15-year head start on it. And they're already pulling market share off them. It's getting better all the time, though. Say the app needs, or the studio app is what needs work. Zap with jumper cables. That's fucked up, man.
Obama starting the war in Syria and the war in Libya and how that relates to Benghazi. And of course, he points out the, as he puts it, quote, profound delusion that underlies all of this. He points out, as we did,
I never understood that culture.
Through this list of 7 countries in 5 years that the general talked about.
Dogs inherently trust us to be part of their herd and take care of them, and fucking do that kind of shit to him. I think he should be hooked up to some fucking jumper cables. It was fucking nuts.
I've talked about this over the years quite a bit. I know supplements are great. It's a huge market. People buy them because they work. That's why it's one of the fastest growing markets in America.
Even when I yell at my dog, 5 minutes later I feel like a piece of shit. Just see the pain in his eyes when I yell at him, even though he did something stupid. But he doesn't get beat. It's not necessary.
One of the hottest items for decades on the market is super green foods, and there's hundreds of different.
Oh, we're running this.
Some are okay, some are amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, the top one on the market costs almost $100 a canister because it has over 90 ingredients and it's superfood. And it really works, and it's expensive to make. Well, we have a sponsor, available at thealexshowstore.com, that is just as good or even better with the same ingredients and even more at a price on average $40.
I don't know how long I'm going to be at work today, man. My stomach is bubbling like crazy.
As it is right now, exclusively at thealexshowstore.com, it's even more than $40 off. Optimal Human is amazing. You can buy cancer by itself or the welcoming pack. It's got some notes, some information, and the mixing bottle, which is really easy to use. You can also just put it in water, stir it smooth, it just takes longer. Go to thealexshowstore.com and get Optimal Human today. And some of the other great supplements that are game-changing, like the CMOS, that has the key form of iodine and a bunch of other incredible minerals and nutrients that do, again, game-changing things to your body. But let me just read to you some of the things in Optimal Human available at thealexshowstore.com, the lowest price you're going to find. Organic reishi mushroom for brain health. It's a nootropic, no letdown, amazing. Turmeric root for joint health and beyond. Destroys inflammation. It is, again, simply imperative that you get turmeric. This is a high-quality source of it. Beetroot for cardiovascular health. CoQ10 for cellular health. Everybody knows about CoQ10. It has organic, really high-quality form of CoQ10 in it. Probiotics for gut health, so your body absorbs it better. And over 90 other ingredients that are almost impossible to get through the average American diet. Even if you're eating organic crops, the soils have been played out. That's why people have to eat so much to feel like they're full, so you've got to get more of the food to get the same nutrients. So I want to encourage everybody to visit thealexshowstore.com today and amazing supplements like Optimal Health and, of course, the CMOS and Great t-shirts, all caps, and hoodies. All of this will keep us on the air. They're amazing products. So it's 360 Web. Please visit thealexshowstore.com today. I think probably for support.
Where's Eggsy? I don't know.
That they own us. In fact, as of this taping, they're still claiming that they own us on several of the platforms. They don't. And even if they did,
Yeah, I'm talking about the German Shepherd that we rescued from Kentucky. Same thing. He's got a heart of gold. He just does stupid shit sometimes.
Support Alex Jones, this crew, InfoWars, freedom of speech, and humanity. Now, I want to talk
Disconnecting, connecting, and disconnecting to the guest network. I don't recognize the name, but I keep getting an alert.
You're listening to the American Journal with your host, Harrison Smith.
Watch out for the ULEDs. Yeah, I'll be popping up with one. I don't remember what today is, but I got a picture of all of them. So, all right, guys, love you. See you in a bit. Thanks for hanging out. Nope, shit, didn't disconnect.
Tucker Carlson having these conversations, and it's good.